The Apocalypse Players present An Uncommon Burial. A Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario written by Danann McAleer in the style of M.R. James. With Joseph Chance as Dr. Henry Carraig-Muire, Dan Wheeler as Reverend Perregrine McCutcheon, Dominic Allen as Lady Helen Marjorie Bjarmia Potts, and Danann McAleer as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. Part 20. Plant them for me.
If your friend Robert still is alive, I might ask yourself what you're ready to do if you find him.
I see.
Sometimes mercy is a hard thing to deliver. And she sort of blesses herself again and
My eyes go to the worm in the glass of water.
it's stopped waving about now. It's sort of flat at the bottom,
I see.
sort of just bubbles in the glass. She says, well, not to be maudlin, here's your pineapple chunks. Here's your herbals. And mind how you go, won't you?
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
Quite all right. Enjoy your stay in Whitby.
I doubt I will.
Brian opens the back door and sort of shows you out. Go down to a sort of a wharf down towards the
And
pier.
I
You
immediately slip on my heel and go, whoa!
fall and roll.
Pineapple chunks everywhere. Oh, help!
Herbals and pineapple chunks flying all over the place.
Slide down to the sea on my arse.
And we'll cut back at that point to the police station.
Ah, do we now? Okay.
As, well, yeah, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Peregrine, you've just sort of finished hearing this horrible sort of thwacking sound of someone being sort of pulverized, it seems, within this cell in front of you. And you've seen this sort of baby's hand sort of slap down on the floor that sort of leads into a bigger hand and then sort of get dragged away into the darkness. And I think you even saw like a flash of the fringe of this face, the already beaten face just before that was then pulled back into the darkness. And you hear the sounds of like shouting coming from upstairs. You hear what are you doing about it? Oh, let me get down there. And you can hear like everyone starts banging on the cell sort of bars around you, like obviously the travelling folks and the other people who've been arrested sort of banging, trying to make the cacophony like a sort of, enjoying the chaos, trying to make the police's job as difficult as possible. And it sort of it drowns out the sound of the thwacking and everything that's come before you. But you do finally see the sergeant sort of bustling his way down. He looks like an angry version of the old end of the pier thing, the laughing policeman.
Yeah.
I can't possibly do it now because of my back, but the sort of he's sort of this big burly figure, sort of his arms swinging and everything, red in the face, and he comes along sort of with Bernard sort of trotting it at his heels. Says, right, open it up, quiet in there, and sort of uses his truncheon to give a whack on a couple of the bars opposite. And Bernard starts sort of fumbling with the keys and everything. And I don't know if in this moment you were sort of like on the floor level, right? Like sort of talking to this.
Yeah, I think so. But I think when this is all going on, I back up against I'm assuming more cells behind me, against the bars of the cell behind me.
Yeah. There is a wall actually, so
Okay,
like you don't have to
against the
sort
wall.
of place yourself in that much threat.
Yeah.
Just in case. But You see he's sort of fumbling with the keys and everything, and he finally gets it open, and you hear a sort of whoo, like around from all the cells around you. It's like, oh, he's finally done it. It's a bit like when someone drops a pint in Wetherspoons, And the sergeant sort of marches into the darkness with no hesitation, and sort of, oh, Jesus Christ. Get a mop, get the medic, and he comes out and he's got blood in his hands, and he says, Reverend, we're going to have to ask you to come upstairs with us, I'm afraid.
May I just say a word over the body?
No, there's no time now, not in front of that body, no. In fact, and then you hear sort of another sort of scuffling sound from a noise from inside, and he sort of pulls his truncheon and goes back into the darkness, and he's like, right, no! And you hear like a couple more thwacks from the darkness, and that seems to quieten down even the cells around the sort of show of overt police
brutality.
And he comes back out, and you can see him sort of he wipes the sort of blood off his truncheon with the sort of the crook of his elbow of his uniform, and says, Reverend, we'll have to ask you to come upstairs with us. Bernard,
of course.
Bring him out. Are you sure? Bring him out. And the sergeant sort of takes you aside, but Bernard gets the younger officer. He gets sent into the darkness, and he seems a lot more hesitant. As the sergeant he takes you by the elbow, and he says, "I'm sorry about that. Terrible business. But sometimes this is the way. You can't trust criminals with each other, No honour amongst thieves." And as he's sort of speaking to you and sort of turning you to the other cells, you see Bernard bringing out someone. You can see him in your peripheral vision. This sort of hunched figure, quite lanky, quite tall, with like sort of red hair, and he seems to be leading him out. And do you want to? The sergeant is really sort of turning you away from this, as if it's something he doesn't want you to.
I definitely want to try and see.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, he's not manhandling you. He's not forcing you not to look, but he's definitely sort of turning your face in his direction. I think without a roll, you wouldn't have to like do a physical roll to turn and look. But I could offer you like a psychology roll to see what he was thinking, or what. But I'd say if you're trying to see, you do see.
Yeah.
This figure passing out with the young officer behind them, and you can see there's the fresh blood down the side of their head, which you assume might be from the truncheon.
Yeah.
Of the Scottish sergeant, and it's this figure with very sunken eyes. They seem quite bloodshot, quite dark, rimmed eyes, long sort of strands of red hair.
And the hands are in cuffs, are they?
Well, the hands are behind him, and Bernard is leading him from behind. So, yeah, it looks like he's got his arms sort of tight behind.
Can I feel the need to see.
You can't see the specific hands.
I can't.
From where you are. No.
Okay. Well, I'd like to call out to the figure and say, "You there? What did you have against Miriam Dag? What did he do to you?"
And the sergeant sort of says, "Please, we don't need any more agitation in here." And you hear like, more whispering amongst the cells and everything. People, "Ooh," and this figure sort of looks back at you and locks eyes with you and says,
Miriam Dag. What did I have against him?
Bernard's sort of struggling with his hands, and he says,
other than being a traitor, they're all traitors. The heathens. Well, we're all heathens, but some are better than others. These bastards will take your word for nothing. Take your hand for a weakness. Take a gift for a curse. They don't know how to use it. He does. He knows. She's dead, or will be, he knows. Dag was a traitor. This town is filled with heathens and traitors.
You hear the sort of travelling folk again sort of starts to get quite like banging on the things. They're sort of like egging him on, like, that's right, Leonard. That's right, Leonard. You give him what's for. But
did I get the impression?
You probably get this.
Did I get the impression that there were, like, how many people did I get the impression were in the cell with Miriam Dag? Was it just the two of them?
3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
you've only seen, you've heard one figure, you've sort of seen a glimpse of one figure that you knew to be, were told was Miriam Dag.
Yeah.
They got pulled away while you were talking to them. You heard this horrible noise. And then you've seen this other figure pulled out who seems to have, like, quite fresh blood on their head. And
yeah.
It doesn't look like the figure that was Miriam Dag. It looks like it must have been one of the other figures.
But I mean, last session I was kind of under the impression that Miriam Dag had been killed.
Yeah.
Was that
well, and you've seen the sergeant go in and come out with blood on his hands
and say, get him up.
They fucking
yeah. So there's
your impression is that Miriam Dag, there's no noises coming from that cell, and the sergeant's come out with bloody hands, and you've seen someone being dragged away and heard someone being beaten. Your impression is that maybe Miriam Dag is either dead or dying within the cell, I would say, without an intelligence roll.
Yeah.
And the sergeant sort of says, please, just, you mustn't concern yourself with this man, Reverend.
But tell me, Miriam Dag, is he...
He's, I'm afraid he's not long for this world, if he's still here.
But if he's...
Right.
But if he is still alive, I should be with him. I should be with him as he passes.
You can hear the cacophony of the voices from the other cells building. And maybe do me a persuade roll or or unless you can feel free to tell me another social skill if you'd prefer.
Believe it or not, McCutcheon's best social skill is charm. I know it's not great, but
you should really have that regency skill, reassure, shouldn't you?
Reassure, yeah.
Yeah, charm was the closest I could.
It's all right.
I could come to, that the what's the equivalent of bedside manner, but for a priest.
Yeah, well,
confessional manner.
Reassure. It's an option in the Arkham expansion. I noticed for the new one.
Oh, is it?
That you can have, because of course Arkham's a bit like going back in time.
Yeah.
Just like hanging out with the Rev is a bit like going back in time.
Yeah. No, I will go for. I would try and charm him somehow.
A timeless experience.
Yeah. Okay, great.
No. So, please, I feel that if he still has life in him, even if not much, he would benefit from the word of God in his ear, and it can't do any harm. You've taken the perpetrator away. I won't be at any risk in there. I know it.
Right. Well, have you rolled?
I have now, and it's a success. 22 on my 30.
Well played.
Nice. So he sort of, you see him pulled. He's sort of like, he's trying to like still get Bernard to, get this Leonard figure upstairs, and you can hear the building cacophony from the cells as they get excited about this thing. And he sort of, it's one of those momentary decisions of, he locks into you for a second and goes, all right. Yeah. Do what you can, but the other two in there, I think they're safe. They're just don't let them pick your pockets or anything. Right, Bernard, please. And you sort of, as you see him lead off, he's like, I'll be back down in a moment. You see the guy there escorting upstairs is still like, his eyes are still totally locked onto yours.
Yeah,
these like deep brown eyes with these sort of hollow sockets.
Do I recognise him?
I don't think you do, no. But you heard him being called Leonard.
Yeah.
Which might ring a bell.
I don't
think
it does.
No. But they lead off and he says, well, Vicar, Reverend, whatever you are, you've a moment. And you're there in front of this sort of open cell door. The bar's just...
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any form of light on you. I mean, if It seems like not so dark that if you went inside, your eyes wouldn't adjust. It's just hard from the outside.
I think much as I would like to take a lamp in, I feel like I've been. He said you can go in. I'm not going to.
Yeah, fuck about.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
could I also have?
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think I am just going to go in.
Yeah,
but like watching my step because I kind of feared that there might be slick blood all over the cobbles.
Yeah, well, you go in and you immediately you sort of slowly go in. You let your eyes adjust. You do immediately start to see this dark shape on the floor, and you see there are a couple of people still in the cell on the benches that sort of run around the back wall of it. But they seem, as opposed to where before they were sort of solitary and sort of heads down and just sort of sullenly awaiting. They seem to be sort of holed up together in a corner, almost like gripping to each other. And in front of you, as your eyes adjust, you do see there's this is a body with a pooling, sort of dark pooling of blood around its head. And it looks like the figure you were sort of shown as Miriam Dag, but you can only really tell by the hair because the face has sort of been pressed in so much that it doesn't really resemble a face anymore. It resembles more like a side of pork or something once you've sliced it. And you can sort of see like there's little it's the figure's bleeding out, obviously, but you can sort of sense this sort of, it's almost like an attempt to breathe, like a sort of guggling thing. It brings you back to the noise that Theodore Pugh made when he was sort of back to you, walking sideways across Oster College chambers before you saw his throat going back. But he hasn't had his throat slit, he's there. But you get the sense that, face or not, there might be some life still. There looks to be a mouth. There seems to be, you can see a sense of sort of almost trying to spit. And in fact, I don't know how you'd feel, but there might be an element of you that feels a bit fucking angry that they've not tried to deliver more medical care first. And I would as well. He said medic, get a medic, but he also said get a mop, which sounded far less.
I kneel next to him and just say, hush now, it's all right. I'm with you. Hush now. You'll be at peace soon. You have absolution. You have, is that a thing, Church of England thing? Who fucking knows?
Something like that, isn't it?
You will be at peace, and we will do what we can. Don't move. Don't try and speak. We will do what we can to make all well.
All well.
You didn't deserve this. You're a good man, I can tell.
You can sense there's like an attempt at words coming. It's like, it isn't like that his face has been cut off. It just looks like he's been pulverized to the point where like he's finding it very hard. You can sort of get the sense that maybe he's sort of choking on his own teeth or something like that. I mean, you could give me a first aid roll yourself if you wanted to. I don't know if that would be your instinct. He looks far gone, and from the reaction of the police, you might think it's a lost cause.
I guess I could do a first aid roll, but it's more an investigative first aid roll. To find out, like, whether I think...
An enema.
What?
An enema.
Yes.
An enema. To find out whether there's an obvious wound that can be staunched. It's just...
No, totally. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's actually a success on my third. I could spend 4 points of luck and make it a hard success, but I have a feeling
I think a regular success will do it for you. You're like looking at him again. You're not the most experienced with wounds, especially from combat stuff.
Except my own.
Except your own. You do get a distinct sense that he's definitely. I mean, it seems to be coming from the back of his head. It's like from the flattening of his face and the way he's lying. You assume that like most of it's coming from the back of his head. It's not like he's been impaled or anything like that. But you do also see that he is trying to. It's like he's trying to cough something up. You feel like maybe your instinct would be that, like, maybe his teeth, maybe you could clear his airways.
Yeah.
It might be able to make him speak a bit more. That's the impression you get.
Well, if that's the impression I get, then
reach your hand in.
Here, let me help. I'd take out a handkerchief so I'm not just like sticking my hand in his mouth and try and sort of wipe some blood from around his mouth, and then if I can look to see whether he's sort of like choking on his tongue or anything. Like open his airway.
Yeah, I think you reach in and you do, like, he sort of...
Yeah.
You manage to pull out a few... there are some teeth sort of resting on the back on the airwaves. And you pull them out, sort of drop them on the floor, and he sort of coughs. And he does seem to be able to allow him to speak slightly more clearly. He says, "Thank you, Reverend. Thank you. Plant them for me. Won't you plant them for me? Won't you plant them for me?" And, you can't really... It's like,
plant them for... Is he saying plant them for me?
Yeah. Will you sow them? Sow them for me. I will live again. I will live again.
Yes, of course. Anywhere particular?
Oh, I almost fucked my back just laughing at that. Such an understated laugh. Anywhere in particular. He sort of says, "You know, Robert, he knew. Marked it. He marked it. The moors above. Past the abbey. Sow them into the ground there. Sow me into the ground there. Don't let them burn me." And you see, like, his eyes can't open. They're too so pulverized, but you get this sudden jolt from his body, sort of as if he's trying to grab at you, and there's this desperate croaking voice of, "Don't let them burn me. Don't let them burn me." And it seems to take pretty much all his effort. He sort of starts to slide back down and, "Don't let them burn me. Don't let them burn me. Beyond the abbey, in the earth, sow me in the earth. Sow me in the earth."
Why would they do this to you? Miriam, why would they do this?
Robert. They want Robert. They want to keep him. He has so many voices now.
Where is he?
He has so many voices now. So many. He speaks with so many tongues.
Oh, God.
They need to keep him.
Friend, like Ichabod Slurm.
Yeah. It's all right, Governor. And he seems to be passing.
Yeah, okay.
This is sort of,
I just lay my hand on him and just sit with him while he passes.
And he slowly sort of coughs his way into oblivion.
Yeah.
As just at the last moment, almost to add insult to injury, you see Bernard sort of with a mop in hand sort of edge around the door like, "Good time."
Little shit.
Can
I see? Yeah. Can I see the any other figures in this room? They're just sat on.
Yeah, there's two in the corner, over by, like, it's a tiny barred window, but yeah.
Do they look like
they've watched this whole?
Do they look like set dressing or significant NPCs? Sorry, my apologies.
What I'll tell you is they don't look like travelling folk.
Okay, well, okay, that is interesting.
And they don't look like they're not female. In fact, you've not seen any women.
Yeah.
In this cell, they look sort of. You get the distinct impression you get is that from the sort of crowded nature of what's going on here, people who might be in for, and also what he said, like, you know, they might be pickpockets or they might be whatever.
Don't get your pockets picked. Yeah.
Everyone's been shoved in together. It's not like this was the cell for the worst people. And that might be why they're sort of huddled together in the corner being a bit like, fucking hell. So yeah, you get the impression they're probably just local street crims.
Maybe I literally just say, "You two, Did you know the other one? Leonard,
What?
his
Him
name.
who they took out?
That's right.
Aye, Len. Aye. He's a groundskeeper around these parts. He's a mad, violent bastard, though. He's not one to be trifled with. And Bernard's at the door. He says,
Do you know his surname?
Aye. Leonard. Well, Crow. Len. We call him Len.
Crow.
But I wouldn't. And Bernard from the door sort of says, Reverend, is he gone?
He has, right?
Right. And he sort of goes to do a sort of a genuflection thing.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of fucks it up.
Yeah.
Swats a fly away. Says, do you mind? It's just the sergeant would like to have a word with you upstairs.
Of course, yes.
Thanks. And he's got this bucket and mop, and he sort of looks down at the body on the floor and goes, oh, fucking hell. Join the police, they said. That'll be a right laugh, they said. Oh.
See the world, they said.
See the world, they said. Meet interesting people. Kill them, they said.
Crack some skulls.
But yeah, he awkwardly, as you sort of, I'm assuming, exit the cell,
Yeah.
he sort of awkwardly sort of moves aside for you in the door and sort of goes, it's this awkward shuffle of the man coming to mop up the brains and the man who's just sent someone off into the afterlife.
Bloody hell.
And you can make your way upstairs. And at that point, we should probably cut to Dr. Henry.
Poor old Henry.
On which note, Joseph, you find yourself walking into... I mean, you don't find yourself, you are there, walking into the Duke of York.
Damn.
Here I am.
Oh, terribly sorry. You should look where you're going, old boy.
Where's that?
I've got to get up this hill.
Where's that Scotsman got?
That's exactly what's
Let's
happening.
get these fellas to the top of this hill and then back down again.
That's what the coffin bearers say as they go
I'm a
past.
bit down at the moment.
They all have Dom's voice.
Oh, you bumped into the Duke of York.
All 6 of them. Oh, God, when we were halfway up, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
You walked into the
And you're with the young fellow from the hardware store.
Aye, which is the most suspicious part of it all.
And he calls out across the bar because you've said you were interested. He says,
Looking for Mr. Crane, but I thought I was looking for...
Richard.
Wasn't I looking for David?
You were. But he said the Crane were the family that ran Fortune Skippers, which was the smoking stack he'd sort of investigated briefly before he came running back up to you. And he says, Richard. And you have this, as you walked in, you recognise this wave of, it strikes you as something similar to what you felt as a pull towards opium. Like when you've walked into a den or something and you've got that real sense of that draw of the drug, knowing that like something could fulfill something. And it's that sense that you're like a Bugs Bunny towards the pie on the windowsill in a sense, but you manage to snap yourself out of it and decide to go in regardless.
Aye.
Whether or not you want to stay in there is another thing. But across this, it's the more crowded pub that you've been in the Angel or the Dolphin. But you hear the young fellow beside you say, Richard, gentleman here wants to make your acquaintance. And this sort of rough and tumble, quite like grey, silvery grey hair, tattoos up his arms, like lumps of Stilton, as I like to describe it. It's sort of like so merged with the sort of the tanned skin, you can't really sense what they originally were. You imagine mermaids or rigging or something.
Or possibly both.
And he sort of possibly both. Mermaids tangled in rigging.
In the rigging.
You imagine, in his rigging. And he sort of swivels round on his bar stool and says, "Aye,
Rigged maids and mer ropes." I don't say that, but I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you say that?
Don't say that for once. But I grip the wee leather bag in my left hand and I extend my right hand.
Aye. He's, well, to be clear, I should describe it. The bar's about like 5 yards away from you. Yes.
I unnaturally extend my right hand 5 yards.
Yeah, it keeps going until it reaches
and I look
him
in horror.
and he goes,
Ah.
bloody hell, how'd you do that, lad? We could use you at festival. No, but he, no, if you approach.
In which case I will approach.
Yeah.
I'll cut the distance, so I don't want to make it a sort of saloon style. I'm talking, as not.
But he takes your hand and he sort of says, "Nice to meet you, lad. What'll it be? Pint of best?
Oh, aye.
One more, Tony." You see the bartender sort of sling his thing over his shoulder and start pulling another pint. He says, "Oh, you a visitor? I'm sorry the shop's closed. Our hours are, I don't know if you know much about smoking fish, but, well, we don't tend to be open past midday. No point."
I had a feeling you wouldn't be open. Aye. But I thought I'd chance my arm, or fortune, as the case may be.
Ah, very good. Very good. Where are you from?
On the East Coast. Freakham. I do know a thing or two about smoking.
Freakham. Oh, Freakham. I think I had a cousin or two went up to Freakham at some point. Oh, interesting. Well, they're still smoking up there.
Aye.
Oh, you'll be right at home here. You need a job?
Well, not quite, no. I'm actually here for the, I'm here for the dead animals who've turned to rocks on your shore in these fine parts. We get...
The wyverns, the dragons.
Indeed. In the best
Right.
examples.
What do they call them now? Not dragons. What do they call them, bastard? Dinosaurs.
That's the one.
That's the one. I knew
That's
it.
the cutting
Knew it.
edge.
Well, folks come down from around here. It's either for the fish, or it's for the jet, or it's for the beasties, the dinosaurs. So, you're a dino sort, are you?
I suppose I am. But it's all the harvest of the sea, isn't it?
Well, aye. It all comes from there, right?
Which seems appropriate, given the festival time.
Aye, quite right too. And he sort of, the bartender hands you a pint over and he sort of clinks with yours. Well, to your good health.
Aye. And I sup and the foam sticks in the dark black of my moustache.
Oh, yeah. And then, whereas his is sort of like, he does have a moustache, but it's silvery and grey and thinning, and it sort of, it just drizzles down his chin instead.
Exactly. So that the foam becomes like the silver.
Exactly.
And the silver comes like the foam.
Wipes it with the back of his hand and he says, so, I have to ask, what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I've been told that you're on a fine ship, as it were, or a fine shore.
Aye.
My grandfather's concern has come to my hands, and I'm no fishman. He once was. My father also turned his back on the trade and was a humble teacher. God-loving folk, both of them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, unlike myself, I suppose. Much more a scientific inquirer.
I see.
Natural historian.
Well, I respect that.
As I respect you, but there's a call with the new refrigeration for sloops to head down with fresh fish. Sweep down the coast in a 5-6 hour manoeuvre. They've got to be fine sailors, quick. And we have them, but we'd need a stopping off point. We could do with doubling our cargo as it goes.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but we're talking business here.
Aye.
We're talking business and we're talking ships.
Ooh, you don't need to provide the ships. Freakham would provide the ships, but we'd need crew rest and we'd need, able hands to take on board. So I wondered whether I'd be able to look at your establishment and see whether it was the right kind of size.
Aye, of course. And he sort of raps on the bar and says, right, we're talking business now, lads. So, quiet down. I'm joking. But then he just puts two fingers up and the bartender puts two shots of scotch down in front of you. He says, what was your name again?
Carraig-Muire. I'm Henry.
Carraig-Muire. Well, Richard, you know that already. Richard. Oh, I see. Henry Carraig-Muire. Not Carraig-Muire, Henry.
That's the one.
Hard to tell with, go above the border. Could be anything. Right?
Exactly.
That's right. And he sort of, he sort of taps the scotch if you tap it with him.
Aye.
That's it.
I'll do that.
He says, Richard Crane. Well, you wanted to look round the establishment. Is that right?
If that would be acceptable.
Well, it's only around the corner, isn't it? No skin off my nose.
In truth, and I lean forward in a slightly more conspiratorial tone, because I'm sort of probably being a bit watched, are we? I don't know.
Well, the people in the bar are interested. You get the sense. I mean, you could do me a psychology roll to see the general vibe of the bar, maybe.
The general vibe. As I'm ramping up my... it's an unusual pass. That's 17 on a 39.
Hello.
Hard.
So, yeah, you get the impression that, yes, you are being listened to. That his asides to the bar in general, I'm only joking, all that stuff. You get the impression people are laughing along with him, but they're laughing along in that way that... I guess it's like a school bully, maybe, you get the vibe of. That people are sort of pretending to be friendly because they'd rather not be picked on.
Yeah.
But you get the impression
Are they afraid of him?
Yeah, you get that there's a sense of... Yeah, either fear or some sort of anticipation, but either way, you get the sense that they're listening as well to what you're saying as much as they can. There's a sense of like ears slightly turned towards you from the little saloon tables and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And he says, well, we can go down there now if you want. And he takes half his pint in one drawer.
Yeah. Oh, fine.
You know where it is?
I've just come from there.
Aye.
As I say, I chanced my arm.
Yeah, no, I saw you looking over the railing.
I suppose the one thing I wanted to say to you was it would serve the purpose of myself and the men that I represent.
Aye.
That we didn't want too large an outfit, and I do a deliberate look around, perhaps meeting a couple of eyes.
Aye.
Deliberately.
Yeah.
And of course, in the grand tradition of the smaller fisheries, we wouldn't want to be unnecessarily paying as much tax as some in, say, Hartlepool or Redcar might be wanting to.
And he slams his glass down on the table and says, one more, then we're hitting the road. And it's almost as if he's made a big sort of like loud gesture to then be able to lean in and trick the ears of those around and sort of says, you did know who you were looking for, didn't you? You knew who you're looking for.
You mean as in the Cranes?
Aye. We run things around here.
Well, exactly.
Huh. Who gave you our name? Or was it just something you picked up?
Now, remind me, Danann, who was it who actually gave me his name?
Well, from the librarian in York. And then
yes,
you mentioned the Cranes in the pub after the crash in the thing, and you got a ripple of response that even the travelling folk were sort of like on edge about their names being mentioned. So yeah, he sort of makes this big ostentatious gesture, slams his glass down and then leans in and says that, and just fixes you. Who gave you our name?
And we made a quiet inquiry around the town.
Right.
From one of the reactions we had, it seemed to be that your name was stirring the most.
He smiles, and you see like the nicotine brown teeth sort of, his tongue runs over his top row of nicotine brown sort of stub-like teeth. You realise how fucked his mouth looks. And he sort of says, sort of smacks his lips and says, interested. And whose reaction was that?
Oh, it was in that delightful public house in the Lost Saracens.
The Dead
Head
Turks.
The Dead
Twats. Turk.
Ken Dodd's Turkish dogs.
Ken Dodd's dogs.
The Turkish
Dogs,
barbers.
Yeah.
Dead. And the Turkish barbers were a wee bit disturbed too.
I thought you had clean ears for a Scotsman. Well,
funnily enough, in Newcastle.
What great expression.
clean ears for a Scotsman.
Yeah, I mean, clean ears for Scotland.
Yeah. Clean ears for a Scotsman.
Very Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, what? Yeah.
But in Newcastle, we asked, and there was an old connection to Crow. I say, looking him in the eyes.
What's that?
But it sounded a wee bit too old, if you catch my meaning.
Aye.
We don't want tunnels. We
Oh,
want quick hands and a lot of ice packed around freshly smoked bellies.
do you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. He says, right, I see. Well, thank you for letting me know. And he takes the rest of his pint in one drawer and puts it down. Says, Tony will take the back room for a moment. That's all right. And then you see him sort of nod at someone in the bar and move around the side, sort of pulls his stool aside and proffers his hand. You could do me a spot hidden if you like at that point.
The back room, damn it. No, of course I'm not going to pass that though, am I? No, that's a 55 and a 46. But I'd really like to pay very close attention.
Yeah, you do. I hate to put you in this position, man.
No, this is really tight. And I can't see anything, and I don't know why he's taking me to the back room. I thought we were about to go out and look.
Yeah. But then you started talking about tunnels and stuff, and
I slightly overstretched my mark. I just thought...
and crows. Yeah.
I thought the Crows being an old family of smugglers, I thought
It might just be that you're going to the back room.
that would be acceptable.
You do know that people are like trying to overhear you, so
What do I have?
you know that I'm a prick, so there's that.
No, it's not that. It's that I've been...
No, but I'm just offering you that as a friend. Remember that I am a prick sometimes.
It doesn't mean anything to me because you could be being a prick about threatening
Yeah,
me
I
and
could,
nothing. Or you could be being a prick and this is your only chance to not get your face caved in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't even look at you because that won't help. I'm looking to see if I've got anything. Guys, do I not even have a weapon? Apparently I don't even have a weapon. If I literally all I've got is a bag of opium.
Yeah.
And my...
Oh, yeah, because
and my
that
balls.
won't get you
My
far.
ball bag.
Anything can be weaponized, Henry. You have an arse, don't you?
You hear this voice echoing through the... You have an arse, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And you check. Yeah, I do.
Lady Marjorie's voice does, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
It's almost like she stood next to me, about 3 feet lower than me.
Aye.
And I look down and I think, I'm missing something. And I say, ooh, do you mind if I take one last smoke before we go in? I don't like lighting the pipe in a fine confined space.
They won't mind. You don't mind, do you? And the bartender sort of just shakes his head. Carries on mopping the bar.
In the sense that he sort of... I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, no, sorry, the bartender sort of...
No, it's good, but I think he's confused.
Yeah.
So I take my pipe out then and there and
Yeah.
think... And I just take one step back and start to light my pipe. And I say, ooh, forgive me, I did have cigarettes. Would you like one?
Aye. I'll take a cigarette.
Yeah.
And
I take a cigarette.
he's still just like, he's moved the stool aside. He's just stood by the bar. He's finished his drink. And it's now there's this very obvious thing of he's sort of gestured to the back room.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're-
I'm pausing.
Yeah, you're pausing. And you can sense that some people have moved in the room. But
I think this is how I'm going to try and push the roll. Because I am going to try and see if I can see more.
yeah.
by essentially creating a distraction. By I say, let me get that for you, and I make a show of kind of going into my right pocket.
Oh, is he going to go Reggie Cray?
Pulling out the heavy lighter.
Yeah.
And I say with my pipe in my mouth. Oh crap!
Fuck!
A pipe in my mouth. It's nearly dropped.
Yeah.
I say, of course I use matches from my own, and I flick the lighter.
Oh, yeah.
Towards his face.
Yeah.
In a gesture of lighting his own cigarette, but essentially to sort of blind him while I look really closely.
Yeah.
At what I'm looking at.
I mean, see how you roll. That's the main thing.
See how they run.
See how they run.
Fuck my life, lads.
Not so good.
48 on a 46.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Oh.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
It is harsh. I mean, no.
It's the way it rolls.
What happens in the moment is that, like, you do this maneuver of, like, which I imagine you've done before. The reason I was saying, is it Ronnie or Reggie Cray? It was that he famously had that thing where he could knock a man out. The way he'd knock them out, he'd know to knock them out is he'd offer them a cigarette, put it in their mouth, and then as he was lighting their cigarette, like,
brilliant,
just like 1 inch punch the chin, because you relax the lower part of your face when you're like inhaling. So it was like this classic move he had. I wondered if you were going to go for that.
No,
you weren't. You were trying to blind him to sort of see if you could get a sense of what else you could sense around you, right?
Yeah. Although you've given me a great move there for William Knox, my bounty hunter. If we ever get to complete our journey together on that one, Danann and Dom.
Oh yeah,
but that's
it's the old pop the cigarette in the mouth, and as you go to light it.
It's a very Colin Farrell maneuver. I feel
very in Bruges, very.
But anyway, sadly, Henry's far too cultured for that sort of thinking. He was just trying to blind his eyes while at the same time.
But there is this element where it's almost a reversal of that, where he doesn't like flinch back from the flame or anything, but you just feel like his 2 fingers sort of tap you on the inner wrist. It's like he just stops your hand.
Shit.
There. And but he doesn't look offended or anything. In fact, he looks sort of quite terrifyingly calm.
But I think maybe I'm so shocked that I sort of drop the lighter for a second and I try and catch it. And of course, I've got the heavy bag on the left hand, so I sort of bash into it and I catch the lighter and my swings away. Maybe I drop my pipe.
Yeah.
And of course the light is upside down, maybe, I don't know.
And no, absolutely. And he actually, in a gesture, an almost embarrassing gesture, he sort of offers his hand as if to help you up. Like he was some damsel who's, here, Barney, don't fret. We're just talking business.
So sorry.
And you hear the door bolt go behind you.
Because it fucking does.
And he says, so, let's talk business. And he just gestures again.
Aye. Yeah. And I tap out the pipe, but ineffectually as the burn in my palm stings, I say, well, probably more sensible to have a cigarette anyway. And I
may well be the case. But he lights the cigarette that you've given him with his own lighter.
Okay, yeah, and I'll light mine in a shamefaced, pathetic.
Because he just tapped your hand out of the way.
Loss of face.
Yeah.
Do you want a hit point for the burn, or do you want?
I don't think so.
No, just
you'll need those.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay. Where I'm going. Yeah.
We'll see. But do you sort of follow his lead? Like he's asking you to walk in front, essentially.
Oh, aye, yeah. No, I've been here before.
Yeah. So he sort of he gestures you through, and there's a sort of glass door, like one of those partition doors, leads you through there. There's a couple of people in that side of the bar too, and he sort of raps on the wall, and there's another little saloon door into like what looks like a private little, dining area or whatever. And you go through, and he follows you, and then 2 people follow him, and then 3 people follow them, and then they close the doors. And he says, well, since you're so interested, your friend's in Newcastle, he said.
Aye.
Well, I'll show you one now. May as well, eh? This is one of the shorter ones. And he just pulls up the rug under this table and pulls up this trapdoor beneath it. And you get this sudden waft of like seaweed and like sort of, it's that harbourside smell of fish guts and seaweed and sand and sort of salt air. And it doesn't take a spot hidden to see the owl face emblem carved beneath it. And he says, after you.
Oh. Well, of course. I mean, I suppose it's the traditional way. Good to know that the old scaffolding and the old roots are in place. But as I say, I say this as I'm walking towards the entrance.
Yeah.
As I say, I am talking about quick hands with well-packed ice around the fish. But of course, for old time's sake.
Do you want to do me a social role of some sort?
Yeah, I could try.
I don't know quite what I know, because I know that you're trying to convince him that you are a genuine businessman and that this is like something that he maybe shouldn't. I'm assuming your thing is like it would be more in your interest to humour me, even if you're annoyed that I got your name somewhere else. I mean, you could sell me a social role on that basis.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I was just trying to use the logic of my cover story.
I'm selling social roles tonight like nobody's business.
My social skills are not good. Again, remarkably, you'll be amazed to hear this, that just like Reverend McCutcheon, it's actually I'm supposed to be charming.
I know. No, but I think the problem is that you're all charming in real life, so we actively role play as far more charming than we are, and then we go, oh wait, my score's like 10.
Well, no, I was thinking the charm is really for the ladies, because he has this soft touch for, maybe he's thinking about Gioria, and in this moment thinking, if I walk into this tunnel, I may never see that lovely lass again, and I'd really like to see her, let alone my friends.
Yeah, you get this flashback of like her red hair, the vibrant red hair.
Oh, don't.
And these rosy cheeks, and it was more the glint in her eye as well. It was more the cheekiness of the like, she'd let you out of the carriage.
It's always the glint.
She'd let you out of the carriage, and there was just that sense of camaraderie as like one naughty person to another.
And maybe I embrace that and I say,
yeah.
I do hope that I get to come back out of this tunnel, my friends, because there's a young lady I'm keen to impress back out in your fine Whitby Square, and it would be a great shame to me if I couldn't pull her in for an odd jig or a reel for these festival days to come. But let's have a wee look, I say, and I give them my best charming man walking to gallows smile.
Love it. Let's see how it goes.
And I still don't make it.
Oh, fuck.
On a 40.
That's brutal, isn't it?
Can't spend that kind of luck.
But you say it, right? You go for the...
I do say it. Is it worth
seduction. The manly seduction. I mean...
Is it worth pushing on a 40?
I think it's always worth pushing on a 40. What would Scott do?
Scott would definitely push on the 40.
Although I don't know if what would Scott do is any longer.
I know. But I think I feel this as the sweat's coming down my forehead.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, you're not in a good position here. And it is the sort of position that desperation might tell you to...
Well, I've already seen Marjorie, and I think as I take a step down, I see McCutcheon's face just... coming out, that last bit of light just before it hits the absolute pitch black of a tunnel like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about this fucking goddamn owl's face looking down on me, this idiot savant owl that's haunted me ever since I've got involved with
wide-eyed
with Bobby Thompson's legacy. And I see, it's just wordless. I see McCutcheon's face go into the dark, like one of my fever memories, like one of my flashback from the good shit.
Yeah, the good shit lollipop.
That cooks on the spoon. Yeah. And I think, Christ, is that death I'm walking into? And I turn round and I see Robert Thompson at the top of the stairs and I say, oh, because I can cut a fine jig, my friends. Me and my friend, Bob. Oh, we can dance with the ladies until the cock crows. And I start to jig on the steps.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Madly.
You fucking maniac. I love it.
Oh, God. I can't watch. I can't watch.
It's a Rose Damien push.
Oh, it is.
I don't have dance, mate, so don't make it.
Do you remember which character you're playing? Yeah?
No.
No,
I don't even fucking remember who I am anymore, Danann.
Just to be clear.
Some say that I'm unmoored.
It's going to be down to Lady Marjorie to finish this off. This is on her own. This is going to be terrifying.
This is you and Iago. He's totally unmoored. Go on.
It's an extreme success.
Oh,
0-6. A 6.
Fuck me. Wow.
On my
so,
fourth
yeah.
charm. And I jig, the sweat running into my beard. And I twirl my little leather bag above my head.
Sent it to Michael Flatley.
And it goes a wee bit flatly. Well, I suppose it's
a reel.
Scottish version.
It's a reel.
It's a reel.
Yeah. An Insta reel.
And my boots tapping on the steps. And for a minute, I nearly pitch back into that darkness. And that was the point at which I stop.
But in fact, as you almost peel back, you feel his brawny arm grasp your forearm and sort of pull you in that sort of RSC sort of embrace. And he sort of turns to the others with a big grin on his face and then turns back to you and says, see, we were just testing you. You're a good lad and you're a better dancer. Right.
Than I am liar.
Let's talk ice. and instead of like making you go down first, he gestures for two of the others to go down first and then goes down in front of you and holds his hand out to like lead you into the darkness.